Hello and welcome to Global Fashion Workshop. Let me remind you that we post a new video 3 times a week. Today we have the second part of drafting of our combination dress. We have the pattern in front of us. You already know how to get to this point where we're at now because I drafted and showed it to you in detail. And now we're continuing to work. We're simply continuing to draft the pattern because if we would have put everything in one video, it would have been an insanely long video. Now let's look here. First, I'm going to trace the pattern pieces for the gore. And we'll draft this gore. They're almost the same. So I can fold the tracing paper in half, place it this way, trace, and then cut out and open. Or another way, so that you don't get confused, I can trace one part of the gore, then trace the other part. Learn to use colored markers when drafting, so that you can clearly see all the pieces. This is without seam allowances. We're matching the lines exactly. I have a little mistake here, a couple millimeters difference, but that's okay. Two of these gores with seam allowances, absolutely everywhere it will be 1 centimeter. For now, this piece is without seam allowances. But I will cut out with seam allowances right away. This piece. Cut 2, right and left. When you'll be doing it, also add seam allowances right away. We have a synthetic chiffon, just like on this dress here. So maybe it will be hemmed with a pin hem, or maybe with a rolled hem, maybe with a double folded hem, half a centimeter, half a centimeter. So I'm leaving 1 centimeter for the seam allowances.
Oh.
Here, 1/2 of the gore is from here and another half from here. Our piece is ready. And now let's look here at the table. You see this edge here, which we already drafted. Now I measure 3 centimeters in the other direction. Here I already did it. And I drew the piece from the other side here. So this is how it looked like initially. And this is how it looks like after I added 3 centimeters for the fold. We'll do the same thing here. We add 3 centimeters. This is not a separate piece. This is part of the front and the back. So let's not mix them up. I'll start cutting it out shortly and you understand everything. What's going on? Here's our front and back, increased by another strip of 3 centimeters. I'll explain everything now. We added all this in another direction. This line here, the first line, that's the stitching line. It's this line here, the stitching. Here it is. Here. This is the fold line. We'll be doing a basting stitch and folding the fabric along that line to the inside. This corner here will be trimmed off and finished as a mitered corner. This will be folded, and on the inside this corner will be mitered. Now look what we do next. Next, we cut everything out. And let's write on the sketch our bottom ruffle. Let's read here. Bottom ruffle, ruffle, 2 pieces, width 90. I have it written down here. 90, length 16. All this is without seam allowances. We wrote about the ruffle. We have the gore. We're putting all this aside and we're starting to cut out the pattern. So now please pay attention. I haven't yet worked with the neckline shape and depth. I haven't yet transferred the darts. So we still have quite a bit of work to do. Now, in just a moment, you'll understand everything. This is already the second video we're doing on this dress. Oh, here I deepened it. Pay attention. I'm thinking here now. I think I will add seam allowances at the sides right away. 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter. So that it'll be easier for you on the fabric to see afterwards. If I were doing it for myself, I wouldn't be adding the seam allowances at this stage. And you understand shortly why I'm adding a centimeter. Let's do it this way. I'll cut out the second piece now, and then I'll start explaining everything. Before we start working with the neckline and everything else, I'd like us to look at all this here in detail. I cut out the sides with the seam allowances. We will be basting this line on the fabric. Then we'll be pressing the fabric along this line. And to be able to stitch along this line here, we have added the seam allowances. So we will be placing it over the gore, this way, so that the sides match here. This is how we'll be placing it, along the same line. Here we have seam allowances of 1 centimeter, and here 1 centimeter too, and we will be stitching along this line. We already have the needed seam allowances everywhere. Look how great. I'm very happy with it. Of course, this line isn't here, it's like this. Here we'll have the ruffle, the one that will cut 90 centimeters wide. So whoever wants to make this dress, you'll have to watch all our videos until the end. Otherwise, you might miss something somewhere. Wonderful, our front is ready. And here the same, it will be folded here along this line. And this corner will be finished with a mitered corner technique. And only when the corner will be ready, Then we'll top stitch here on the dress and the ruffles, the gores and everything else. That's it. We looked at this part in detail. The gore is ready, everything is ready. Now we'll transfer the bust dart into the side seam. Remember, we already deepened the arm side. We just have to finish the neckline now. I can't cut from that side. I need to cut this way. We have a few colleagues, Olga and Leonid, who are left-handed, but I can't do things from a different side. They do everything from their comfortable side, and I can only do it like everyone else.
Как нужно, а не как вот это вот.
My daughter Olga was born left-handed. She must have taken it from her grandpa. He lived to 101 years old. Oh, look at this beauty. I also want to bring your attention that here in the dress, the shoulder line is raised. And a sleeve fits so-so, but I'm not going to raise my shoulder. I'll have a normal sleeve without this here. I'm making this for myself and I can do whatever I like. But you can make a half raglan sleeve. We have lots of material on the channel. You could do that by removing parts from the bodice here and connect it to the sleeve. Oh yeah, here it's raised and there's no dart. It's not that well done. It's okay anyway. Now let's see here. I will be removing about 4 centimeters from the neckline. I'm transferring the back shoulder dart into the neckline. This way. Now I remove about 4 centimeters from beginning of shoulder. This is taken into account that we'll have some kind of neckband here. You know what? Let's remove 3 centimeters. What if we decide to make some kind of ruffle instead of a neckband? What would I do then? So let's do 3 centimeters. If only we could go and simply buy a nice striped ribbing, but we can't. We're removing 3 centimeters from top of shoulder, so here also 3. We closed all the darts, so let's compare the shoulders. Oh, they're matching perfectly. Just great. Here we'll remove about 3 centimeters. Here about 2.5 along center back. It really depends on what people like. Some really can't stand when the neckline is close to the neck. Another one can't stand when the neck is open. Someone might have a bit extra flesh there and wants to hide it. And someone else has a bit extra and doesn't like having too much fabric there. So you have to know for yourself what your preferences are. And no tailor and no Irina Paukšte will ever know what you really need. I personally need it to be a little open. Even though I will not be making a raised shoulder, I'll still remove about 1 centimeter from the shoulder here, because my fabric is a Ponte Roma. And the knit can still stretch a bit and give some extra length here. So I'm removing here a bit. You still have to wait to see the cutting out, the basting, And I think that on this garment, we'll also show how to sew some specific steps. But I noticed that our people are a little lazy. When the time comes to get to work, we have less views. In the past, we used to have much more views on lessons with specific techniques, but lately there are less views on videos with techniques and drafting tutorials, for example, on colors and such specific things. But I hope people will get back into work mode soon and will watch the lessons. So our front is ready, the back is ready, and the gore is ready. We dedicated 2 lessons to this. We've also written down what kind of ruffle to cut out. And when we start assembling the dress, everything will become even clearer. I'm very happy that I have this dress now. I like that it's black, and I really like this white stripe here, because I can wear it with white boots. But even if there wasn't a white stripe, I'd still be wearing it with white boots, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyway, it's great either way. On this note, I'm saying goodbye. I'm wishing to all of you to be different and reinvent yourself every day. Click like, share our videos on social media. All the best for myself, Irina Paukšte, and our entire team.